What I want to do is start out and just go around the room. We're going to kick off right in the very beginning, going into what the problem is. As we go through this, I'll have you a nice little introduction, and we'll glide into the sales program. But I'd love to start in a very raw, honest way, which is, what's your problem? What is your problem? I would like to start out, every single one of you, just give me one line that says, this is what I'm battling with when it comes to sales. And start, like, just dig. Like, this is the line. So maybe an example is, I feel guilty selling. Or, I just don't know what to do. Or something. Try to, if you, as best you can, sum it up in a line. Who would like to begin? Yes.
Honestly, I just don't know what to do. Right now, I'm just an order taker. And when people give me objections, what I hear as objections, like I don't know which ones I want to think about it. I don't know what to say to them, and I don't know how to help them make a decision.
That is a great response, and I think a lot of people's response. You guys were selected, when we went through the videos, you guys were selected because you represented a lot of what people felt and were struggling with all over the world. So this is great that we're doing this. So don't know what people want. Next.
Just consistency in sales.
Okay.
Sometimes they're great, sometimes not so much. And
So you are inconsistent in sales?
Yes.
That's your struggle?
Yes.
Okay. Next.
I feel pretty confident in the process that I've managed to create. It's taken me a long time to get there.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm unique in the way that I live in a very small community, and a lot of the people are friends or friends of friends, and I feel a lot of guilt when it comes to closing that sale.
Feel guilty selling to friends and family?
Yes.
All right. Next.
To tack onto the guilt thing, I feel that way with asking people in general, friends or family or other people, for money, just because I know how bad the economy is right now, and maybe they don't like it and they're just buying stuff to be nice, and then what if they don't like it? So it's just a whole, I don't feel comfortable taking their money.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. Next. God, I'm a horrible, horrible writer. I'm just going to own that.
For me,
I don't know how to write anymore. All we do is type. All right, sorry. Uncomfortable taking, I love that word, taking money. Okay?
For me, other than a lack of experience, I'm really comfortable with systems, workflows. Something that allows me to, if I run into a situation that I don't know how to handle, that I can always go back to some form of system. So I have no system in place whatsoever.
No system for sales?
At all. No system for sales
Okay,
whatsoever.
so you kind of don't really know where you are when what you're doing is happening, and you're not sure how much is left and what you got done.
Right, so I've got indirect, basically. So, I post, my images to a website and say, hey, go here. But unfortunately, the return on investment for that has been next to nil. So
yeah.
I think the bottom line, plus I think one thing that I've learned is you're better serving your customers when you can walk them through the process. And the
Yes.
more I've watched other people do it,
Yes.
the more I realize they're helping them.
Yes.
And so from my standpoint, if I could just get comfortable with a system, I could get myself into a position to get more experience to do what I needed to do.
Wonderful. Okay. Next.
Mine also goes along with the inconsistency, but I also have another one.
Good, because I want it to be fresh.
Exactly.
Lovely.
And that is when the client is struggling to make a decision themselves. Do I want wall portraits? Do I want an album? And they get kind of paralyzed by the process. Sometimes I don't know how to navigate them through that.
Don't know how to help overwhelmed clients.
Right. Keep
Don't
them
know what
from
to say.
Right.
Was that what you mean?
Yeah. Just to keep them from becoming overwhelmed from the process.
Help over. Wow. This is phenomenal. This is a great start to this course because, first of all, we're digging right into the heart of it. And secondly, I actually have solutions for all of this.
That's fantastic.
Do we want to jump on any comments from the internet?
Yes, we do.
Don't know how to help overwhelm clients / what to say.
Stephanie W., as well as several other folks, are saying when the client says, "Can I just get the disc?"
Yes. So how to deal with I just want disc. Okay?
ACM 83 says asking for the money up front. And Simpson Portraits says, my portrait clients don't want prints. They want images for websites and print materials.
Asking for money first. And what was the next one?
Simpson Portraits says, my portrait clients don't want prints. They want images for websites and print materials.
Okay, so how to manage digital hungry peeps. Okay?
And Diana 046, with the poor economy, it hits too close to home. I catch myself assuming that the client cannot afford it, but I don't really know that. It's just an assumption on my part. I've totally done that.
Assumes client can't afford it. Or, let me just tack onto that something I've heard when we were doing research for this program. Says, well, I wouldn't pay for it. Have you guys ever thought that? No? Anybody here ever felt like, well, I wouldn't necessarily pay for it? Yes? Yes? So I get credit for that one?
Yes.
All right. Anything else we want to bring up?
Rebecca Ruiz says, my challenge is upping a sale. The client says they have or ordered all they need.
Okay.
So upselling, I guess.
How to sell more.
We've also got folks talking about just not knowing how to decide what products to offer people to narrow that down so it's not overwhelming.
Okay, we're back to overwhelming. Let's see. Where did I word? Oh, there it is. Overwhelmed clients and product options.
We've got photo twin mom, getting away from discounts and freebies, people wanting something for nothing.
Yep.
I would add to that, like all the discounts and Groupons and...
People, how about this? People who have been
trained to look for sales. Brainwashed, even better.
In the Groupon age. Okay.
I like that.
Brainwashed. All things Groupon. I did a part of a panel once, all things called Is Technology Good for Us? Basically, it was a twit photo panel with Catherine Hall about whether or not technology was helping or hurting us. And there was, I think, 10 of us in the panel, maybe 15. Maybe some of us were smaller, I don't know. But we had this large panel, and the big discussion was, is it helping or hurting us from the perspective of the new technologies and cameras, the new ways that people tune in online, the way they buy and stuff. And my point was that Groupon and LivingSocial and all that sort of thing, the major harm I think that comes from those sites is twofold. It's not just this kind of sinking the concept of what is a good price to pay, what is the value of photography. It's not just that it is sinking that, if that is in fact a word. But the other big major issue is how many people I see who do that, how many photographers who do that and just get their bottom kicked. I don't know many stories of people who had a wildly successful experience putting the price out of saying, I'll do the whole shoot for $70 and give you the CD. If there is an experience, actually this would be very interesting. If there is an experience out there somebody's had with, you know, I did Groupon, I got my name out in front of 1 million people, I gave everything on DVD for $70, and I have seen that price point exactly. And it was a wonderful experience for me. I would love to know why. Because from my rationale doing the numbers, I don't know how you invest 8 to 10 hours on a shoot, which is what a lot of people do when they're starting out and usually don't do a Groupon like that, if you have an established business. You start out and you're struggling because you're spending a lot of time in editing and all the effort that goes into, obviously, not only the marketing, but the time you put into the shoot. If you're putting all that time in and you have 200 people sign up for that, and you have to honor all those, how do you maintain sanity and business? And so there's this dual effect of not only hurting the market and the marketplace and the image of what good photography is valued at, but it's also hurting you specifically. If anybody can respond that they've had a great experience with it, I'd love to hear what it was, because it might be something I'm just missing.
We'll let you know.
Yeah. Nope, nobody's flooded in yet with that answer?
No, but we have so many great, can we keep going with this, or do you want to move on? Because there's so many great ones.
Look at this, now I can keep going. I'm gonna take this and flip it and keep going. Can I? Is this a flipper?
No.
It's not a flipper?
Nope.
Yeah, bring me another flipper. Yeah.
So confidence is a big one.
Yeah, Chris W. says, don't know my value, so difficult knowing what to charge.
Confidence.
Knowing your
Don't
own
know my value. Don't know how my work is valued. I don't have a value about the work I produce, or I'm not sure if my clients value it, or if I'm not sure if the two meet.
It's probably all of the above.
All of the above.
They
C.
just say don't know my value, so that probably just means they don't know
Okay.
the value of their work.
Yeah, because those are often different issues. One issue is I don't believe in what I'm producing, so how can I sell it? The other one is I know that I'm creating amazing work, but nobody else sees it that way. Those are two very different issues, and you tackle them in different ways.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have a lot of the, well, we have guilty and feeling bad, but
I'm amazed at that.
the confidence
that became a big part of how we talked about this course, the build
Yeah.
of this course, how much feeling the words shame, awkward, uncomfortable, weirded out, I hate doing this.
Well, just the dirty word factor
Yeah.
of feeling that sales is.
We've got much better dirty words out there.
Well, let's ask Chris W. in the chat room if you could explain a little bit more about how you're feeling, Chris. And we will ask Tamara.
Yeah.
So we do have somebody that tried LivingSocial, and that's Intag, and says, I did LivingSocial. I gave only session and did not sell anything with it. I sell my CD and album with each boudoir session. I'm really getting almost the same amount with what I would get without LivingSocial, so didn't work.
Right, and also didn't do what I said, the deal that I've seen, which is I give you everything, the
Right.
shoot and all the imagery completely, with no other things that you quote unquote have to buy if that's what you're going for.
Right.
Okay. All right, so don't know my value. And let's go ahead and put both down, because like I said, don't know my value, am I worth it? Oh wow, this is such a smoother whiteboard. This is like glossy. Am I worth it? I think my handwriting is getting better on this board. And then I know I am worth it. Need clients to know. This is like, you know, when you know you're super, super hot, but nobody's asking you out, and you can't figure out why. You got to figure it out. Okay.
Photogirl77 says, I tried raising my prices and doing in-person sales, but I was slow for nearly 5 months, so now I'm afraid to raise them again.
Okay, so raised prices, heard crickets, freaked out. Yes?
Yeah.
All right.
So F8 Photo says, I have trouble asking clients what their budget is. I feel so rude. So
yeah.
even just talking about money.
Yes, and you know what? I do too. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. Feel weird saying budget. Okay?
So
How
many
did I
good
start
ones.
numbering again? We're actually on like 14.
Inca says, I am like Kay Hinton. My first couple clients are personal contacts, and I think of them as network hotspots, and I am charging them very little, and I can't bring myself to charge more because I cannot know if they will think I deserve it.
Okay, so basically you start at a certain price point. You have clients associated with that price point. You move on, but you're afraid that you're going to lose those clients as you move on. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, I think they said their first couple clients were personal contacts.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you, it's people that you know and you're charging them little and you,
What to do with first clients, especially personal ones, which mostly they are at first. Okay?
And just educating clients as to why my art is worth what I charge. So probably not just, and how to do that, when to do that, the whole beginning to end sales process.
Okay?
This is great stuff, people. We could go on and on, but I don't know.
Okay, good, because my legs are hurting.
Let's move on.
Okay.
On and on and on.
All right. Well, then clearly we have a lot to talk about today. That's just that. But I have to say, by the way, we have been having an interesting time dealing with some level of sales here in Seattle. I'm going to scoot just this way. When we first got here, before the course, me and my family, we stayed in this hotel, and we booked it for the 2 rooms to be conjoined. And, you know, for my husband and myself and then the kids, and then we ended up getting put all in one room. And we realized the bulk of the problem why we got put in one room is they triple booked the room because sales. I mean, it's amazing to me when you look around with a sales cap on and you start thinking how much sales are a part of our everyday world. It's everything we're doing. Everything we're doing. And I'm going to talk through this about, like, if you think sales is weird to you, how you've been selling your whole life anyway. And it's such a fundamental thing, and it affects us so much. All these frustrations we have when you get to your airplane and your seat was overbooked or double booked. Have you guys had that experience? They do a call and they ask you to give up your seat because they sold a bunch of extra ones. There's a lot of disconnects and problems with sales.